Hello kids. So in today's class, we are going to move further in this chapter and we are going to study about the different angles. So a portion of it we have already done in the grade 5 where we learned about the different type of angles. Okay. We learned what are acute angles, what are obtuse angle, what are right angles, right? But again, as a part of this chapter, I'm going to explain you. So the angles which are of 90 degree, where the two lines they are at 90 degree with each other, they are called as right angles. Okay, they are called as right angles, and this we also learned in our last class. Now the angles which are lesser than these 90 degree angle, so supposedly this is a 90 degree angle, all the angles which are less than this 90 degree angles which falls in this portion. Example, I am marking with colored lines like this angle, okay, this angle, this angle, this angle. All the angles which are less than 90 degrees, they are called as acute angles. Okay, they are called acute angles. Acute angles are less than 90 degrees. That means the angles lies between 0 degree and 90 degree. Okay, this is our 0 degree, this is our 90 degree. So all the angles between these, they are called as the acute angles which are less than 90 degrees. Okay, now the next category is obtuse angles. So here, sorry, this is our 90 degree angle. Now the angles which are greater than 90 degree, that is here, you can say here, here. Okay, they are called as obtuse angle. Obtuse angle. So I can again write here is angles greater than 90 degrees are called obtuse angles. Okay, they are called as obtuse angles. The one in the blue are obtuse and these are the acute angle, and the straight angle, they are 90 degree angles, or we call them as right angles. Now exercise 2.5 is identify acute, right, obtuse and straight angles in the previous figures. So we have given three boxes here with figures. This is box A, B and C. And now what we have to do is we have to identify what are acute angles, what are obtuse angles, and where are the straight angles. So starting with this figure, we can very well see here that these angles, they are acute angles, right? These angles, if I make a 90 degree line here, so 90 degree will be, for this will be somewhere here, and this is less than 90 degree. So these are acute angles, acute angles, acute angles, less than 90 degrees. The second category are, we can see that these angles, they are at right angle with each other everywhere. Okay, two straight lines, they are with right angle with each other. So we can call them as right angles. Right angles. And the third category is here. We can see they are more than 90, right? They are everywhere more than 90, more than 90. They are our obtuse angles. Obtuse angles. greater than 90 degrees. Okay, acute angles are less than 90 degrees. We have seen all these angles, they are less than 90. This is a 90-degree line, they are less than 90. These are right angles and these are the obtuse angles. Right angles, they are of 90 degree. Okay, now this was the first question. In the second question, make a few acute angles and a few obtuse angles and draw them in different orientations. So let us try to do this here. I'm marking answer number 2. Answer number 2 here. Okay. And we have to make acute angles. So let's try acute angles. The angles which are less than 90. So if this is 90, we have to make lesser. This is 1. This is 1. Okay. Then in the different orientations we have to make, this is 1. Then this is 1. These are our acute angles. Similarly, we can make obtuse angles. This one. Okay. And this one is our obtuse angle. This is obtuse angle. These are our obtuse angles. Now, do you know what the word acute and obtuse means? Acute means sharp and obtuse means blunt. Why do you think these words have been chosen? So we can very well see in our figures, acute means sharp. So these angles, they give a sharp view of the picture. Whereas this one, these angles, they give us a dull view of the picture. So that's why they are called as acute and obtuse. Okay. Now, so this is verbal only question. The next question we have is answer number 4. I'm writing here. Find out the number of acute angle in this figure. So kids, let us try to do in the figure itself. So this is our figure 1. We can see this angle. If I draw a right angle here, this is right. So this is less than right angle, 90 degree. This is acute 1. Similarly, if I make this as right angle here and see here, because here now the line is in the opposite direction, so we have to start from here. So this is 2. From where we have to measure the angle, this all thing we have done in grade 5 earlier, kids. So if it is toward the right side, we have to see this particular series, and if it is toward the left side, then the acute will start from here. Okay, this is angle 1, this is angle 2, and similarly this is 90, this is less than 90, angle 3. So in this figure we have 3 acute angles. 3 acute angles. Now, so in this, so 1, 2 and 3 already here, marking again, sorry, I will take the exact numbers, 1, 2 and 3. Now if you see this angle, so this one is inside also, it is 4, 5 and 6, similar to how we have taken the bigger one. And then outside also, this is one angle, 7, this is another angle, 8, this is one angle, 9, this is another angle, 10, 11 and 12. Okay, so we have 12 acute angles here. All right, in this figure. Now, in the third figure, in addition to these 12, we are just going to count the inner ones. Okay, so we have 12, the outer ones, and now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this one 7 insiders, 8 and 9. So 12 plus 9, which give us 21. Okay, so this figure has 21. So kids, if you notice the pattern, this is also a pattern of the triangle. So this is 1. In the first one we had 3, in the next one we had 12. So we added 9 to it, it became 12. In the next one we are again adding another triangle inside, that is giving us 9 more angles. So we are having 21. What will be the next figure and how many acute angles will it have? So kids, here the next figure will be something like this. The outer one first, then the inner one, okay, then this third one, sorry, and inside this third one we will have another one inverted. Okay, so when we are going to add this, this is going to introduce 9 more angles. 9 more angles than previous figure. Than previous figure. So that means in the previous figure we had 21. This one will have 21 plus 9, which will give us 30. Okay, this will give us 30 angles, or you can say 30 right angles. Sorry, not right angles, acute angles. I'm sorry. 30 acute angles in this figure. Okay, so I hope this is clear how we are counting the acute angle, what are acute, obtuse and right angles. Okay, next we have measuring angles. So measuring angles is, we have seen how to compare two angles, but we can actually quantify how big an angle is using the numbers. Okay, we saw how various angles can be compared using a circle by the non-superimposition method we did. Now, perhaps a circle can be used to assign measures for angles. So kids, we have used protector in our grade 5. A protector is nothing but it is half of a complete angle. This is our angular division shown here, where we have different degrees. Okay, so every unit has 1 degree. I'm just explaining it here. So this is a circle we have, and then this is the center of the circle. Okay, this is 0. This is 0 degree. Now and this is our 90 degree angle. So 0 to 90 are these divisions, and 90 to 180 are next divisions. 180. Then we have 270 here, and again 360 or 0. Okay, so when it completes the 360 degree cycle here. Okay, okay, so this is how we are dividing. Now every degree or every unit, you can say every unit has 1 degree associated. This is something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So this first quadrant, it has 90 degrees. Second one also has 90 degrees here, again 90 degrees, and again 90 degrees. Okay, so kids, try to understand, this is the complete circle of 360 degree, and we are dividing it into 4 parts. The first part is of 90 degree, 0 to 90 degrees, then 90 to 180, 180 to 270, and then 270 to 360. So these are 4 equal divisions of 90 degree each. Okay, and now inside one division we have units. So we have seen a protector. In our protector we have similar lines, and each line corresponds to 1 degree, and the same thing has been explained here. Okay, we saw how various angles can be compared using a circle. Perhaps a circle could be used to assign measures for angles. Okay, to assign precise measures to angles, mathematicians came up with an idea. They divided the angle in the center of a circle into 360 equal angles or parts. So we can say this whole 360 degree, it has 361 degrees. Like this, we have seen that 1 degree, 1 degree, and so it goes on, it complete 361 degree angles. Okay, now next, This unit part is used to assign measure to any angle. The measure of an angle is the number of 1 degree unit parts. Same thing we have done. Okay. Example, if we see this figure, it contains 30 units of 1 degree. This whole angle, let me name it. I'm naming it as A, B and C. This whole angle here, ABC, it is 30-degree angle. That means that it has 30 units of 1 degrees here, which is making it as 30-degree angle. Okay. So degree is the measure of angle. It is the unit. Degree is the unit in which we measure the angle. Now it is explained that how we can measure the different angles. Measure of different angles. What is the measure of full turn? We have seen that full turn is of 360 degree. What is the measure of straight line? Straight line is half of the full. So this must be 180. Okay. 360 by 2. I'm writing here also. 360 complete circle. We are dividing the complete circle into 2. The upper half is 180. The lower half is also 180. So this is explained. It is 180 units. That means it contains 180 1 degree units. Okay, these lines are total 1 degree, 1 degree, 1 degree. It goes on and it completes 180 units, 180-degree angle. Now, next one is a right angle. This is a right angle, and this right angle has a measure of 90 degree. That means it has 91-degree lines here. Okay. Next, we have angle bisector. So, kids, what is angle bisector? It is nothing but it is a line which divide the angles. So, supposedly, okay, I'm taking this example only. We have a line, we have a straight angle here, A, O, and B. This one, okay. I am using an angle bisector OC, which is dividing this complete angle into two parts. So my OC is called as angle bisector. Angle bisector. So what it does is, the process of getting half of a given angle is bisecting the angle. When we divide the angle into equal parts, this OC is dividing it into equal parts, 90 and 90. So OC is bisecting angle AOB. Okay, OC is angle bisector of angle AOB. This whole 180 degree is bisecting by OC, and we are getting two 90-degree angles. Okay, kids. So I hope this is clear to you that how we have done this part. And the next we have exercise 2.6 here. Okay, so for doing this exercise, we know that we have to use a protector, and we have used a protector in our earlier class in grade 5. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to tell you that how can you keep your protector and measure what is this angle. Okay, so kids, whenever your protector is like this, okay, I'm just making it. It has one center, this 1, 0, and this is 180-degree line, and it has lines to it. This one is the 90-degree line. Okay, so what we are going to do whenever we have to measure any angle, we have to keep the vertex of the angle at the point O. We have to keep our protector. We have to map the center of the protector, the point, this point of the protector which I have marked as O. We have to overlap it with the vertex of the angle. Also, we have to overlap this particular line, this one, with the one of the arm, and then we can measure the another arm. We can see on what degree the another arm is present. Okay, I'm repeating this thing again. Whenever we have to use a protector, we have to overlap the center point of our protector, which I have marked it as here as O, to the vertex of the angle. Okay, and then we have to keep one line overlapping with the one line of the angle, one arm of the angle, and then the other arm we can see that at what degree the other arm is present using the protector. Same thing we have done in the grade 5, same we are using now also. So let's start with the first angle here, this one. In this figure, we have to measure this angle IHJ, angle IHJ. What we are going to do, we are going to keep the center of a protector here, and we are going to map the lower line of the protector. There is one line also with this particular arm. So a protector will be something like this. Okay, this point will coincide here and this arm should coincide here. This point should be here. Same. You have to keep it above the point H and map the line of the protector with the arm HJ, and then we have to see that in the protector where we are getting the another arm, we have to measure that degree. So kids, when you are going to do this, this will turn out to be somewhere around 48 degrees. Okay, and for 48 degree means this is acute angle, it is lesser than 90 degree. Okay, so this is the way we have to do. Similarly, in this figure, your protector is going to come here like this. You have to map the center point with this J. This should come here and the lower arm will coincide this HI part, and then we can measure what is the other angle. Okay, so when kids, you are going to keep the protector center point on H and you are going to overlap the lower line with HI, we will see that the other arm will come at 23 degrees. It is something around, this is somewhere around 23 degrees. So it is less than 90. It is again a acute angle. And if I name this angle, I can name this angle as JHI. JHI. Okay, this one. Coming to next question, the next part. If we have to measure this particular angle, what we can do is we can keep our center of protector here in line with this arm, and then we can measure the angle. So kids, when you are going to measure it, this will, we can also see this is more than 90. It looks more than 90, right? This will come somewhere around 109 degrees. So an angle greater than 90 degrees is obtuse angle. This is obtuse angle, and we can also name it as angle IH and J. IHJ is 109 degrees. So I hope this is clear. Just put the center of the protector on the vertex, one arm of the protector with the one arm of the angle, and we can get the another arm's degree easily. We can easily get the spacing between the angle. Okay. Now, find the degree measures of different angles in your classroom using protector. This is the activity which you will do in your class. Next is question number 3 here. The question number 3 is that find the degrees for the given angles. Check if your protector can be used. Again, kids, we are going to put our protector here, center of protector in line with this arm, and then we have to measure this angle. We have to see at which degree the other arm comes, coincides. Okay, so if you see this angle here, it will come somewhere around 40 degrees. Similarly here, and so this means this angle is acute angle. Okay, lesser than 90. And we can also name it, it is IHJ. IHJ. Similarly, in the next, keep the protector here in line with this arm and we can measure the another arm. And It will come around 115 degrees, kids, when we will measure with protector. You have to practice this. You have to practice measuring angles with the protector a lot, because in the further exercises we have questions on basis of these protector degree angles. Okay. Now, how can you find the degree measure of angle given below using a protector here? So kids, what we are going to do, I'm just marking it first. I'm marking it this as A, O and B. Simple. I am going to keep the center of protector here in line with this arm, and then I can measure the another arm. I will keep my protector like this here in line with this particular arm vertex at the center of the protector at the vertex of the angle, and we can see that what does this angle make here. Okay, so this angle whatever this angle we will get, we are going to subtract it from the complete angle 360 degree minus this particular angle AOB. It will give you the measure of the another angle. It will give you the measure of this angle, and this will come out to be 102 degrees. This angle is 102 degrees. So you can do 360 degree minus angle 102. Sorry, if I am subtracting, I need not mention the angle. I will write 102 degree. This subtraction will give me 240 degree as the answer. Okay, so this angle, this complete angle is 240. So I hope you understood. We find out this angle by the usual method, and from the complete angle 360 we are subtracting, and we will get the measure of the angle. This, because this whole is 360, so 360 minus this part which was 102, we will get the outer part. Okay. Next, measure and write the degree of these angles. So kids, same thing. We will keep the center of the protector here in line with this line, and we can measure. It will come somewhere around 80 degrees. Acute angle. Okay, this was obtuse. Again, here center of the protector in line with this arm, and we can measure the another arm where it is lying. This will come around 120 degree. Okay, so I think this is the last question of this exercise. No, we have more parts to it. Okay, let's do this. Next is C part. Again kids, keep the protector here, center of the protector in line with this, and then we can measure what is this angle. So this will come nearly 60 degrees. And in this case, we will mark the center here in line with this arm. We will see this angle. This will be around 130 degrees. How to measure the angles and all, we have already learned in grade 5. Still, we know that we can keep the protector here in line with this arm, and we can measure where the other arm is lying on the protector. So for this angle, this is around 128. And the last is, keep the center here in line with this arm, and we can measure the another arm. This will come around 60 degrees. Okay. Next is, we are given a figure of a protector along with the different points which are making angles with the lines, and we have to find out the measure of these angles here. Okay, so this is BXE. BXE. I'm marking with blue color. BXE is this angle, this complete angle we have to measure. So if we see here, center in line here, the other arm is going to somewhere here. It is the midpoint. So 115, I'm writing here. Angle BXE is, this angle is 115. this one, 115. Next is CXE, angle CXE. What is CXE? CX and E. Let me erase the another one so it will be easy. Okay. CXE means this particular angle. So this is again, we can see very well, this is 95. This is in the center of 90 and 100. So this goes 95 degrees. Next we have AXB, angle AXB. AXB means this particular angle. So this angle is given here as 65. This is in the center. Since we are measuring from the left side, means we have to consider the outer point. So this is 65. Now BXC, the last angle, which is BXC, this middle angle, this angle. Okay, so we can measure here. So kids, we know this is 10 degrees, 70, 80 and 90. So that means we have 30 degrees here. We have 30 degrees here. Sorry, it is not 30. It is 35 rather. Wait, I am erasing and I am explaining how. See, we have 70, 80, this is 10, this is 10, this is 10, 30, and then these fives also. We have this 5 and this 5 also. Okay, so this makes it as 35 degree. Next, find the degree measures of these angles. So let us do this. Angle PQR. PQR means this angle. We have to measure. So what we are going to do, kids, here, we are going to keep the protector at the center in line with this arm to measure the other arm, and it will be around 45 degrees. Okay, we have to keep the protector here in line with this arm and we have to measure this arm. So this is 45 degrees. Next we have PQS, means, wait, I'm erasing this one. So PQS is this angle. Okay, PQS. Again, we will keep the center here and we will try to measure along this arm. So this angle will turn out to be nearly, we will keep the center in line with this and we will see where this lies. It will be around 100 degrees. So means these two, this particular angle PQS, I'm writing here, angle PQS is 100 degrees. Angle PQR is 45 degrees. Third one is PQT. PQT, this complete bigger angle, I'm marking here. This is PQT. Okay, this complete angle, same, keep the protector here in line with this arm and see what is the measure of the degrees here. So this QT, it will come around 151 degrees to the other arm. That means your angle PQT is 151 degrees. So this is obtuse angle, this is obtuse angle, and this one is acute angle. So kids, in this class, we have seen that how using a protector, we can measure different angles at different degrees. Okay, so this you have to practice again and again at your home. And in the next class, we are going to move further in this chapter and we will learn more about the angles. So this brings us to the end of this class and I will see you all in the next class.